my channel. I hope you guys are all doing well. So today's gonna be all about some face essentials for oily skin. So I have very oily skin. My whole face is pretty much oily. The only part of my face that's not oily is my jawline, and that's more normal. Sometimes I will experience dry skin, but it's usually because I'm using a new product or something that's drying me out. I also want you guys to keep in mind that this is just all by me trying products and all by research. This is not saying that each one of these products is gonna work for you guys, so just a little disclaimer there. Okay, the first thing we're gonna talk about as always is gonna be a couple of skincare items, because your base is really your skincare. If you're not taking care of your skin, you're not gonna get the results that you want. You're gonna produce more oil and it's just gonna be a whole mess. So the first thing I wanna talk about is a cleanser for your skin. Everybody needs to cleanse their skin. Oily, normal, dry, combination, whatever you are, every single person, you need to cleanse your skin in the morning to get rid of any nighttime sweats and to just have a clean face throughout the day. And you also need to cleanse your face at night to remove all impurities. A lot of people who have oily skin feel like they need to use a really harsh cleanser, something that's just gonna strip their skin, like suck it dry of everything, and that's not the case. No cleanser should really make your skin feel dry and tight. The only time that I would say a stripping cleanser is good is for if you're noticing a lot of breakouts, then you really want to use a stripping cleanser to suck everything out of those breakouts so that they can dry up and your skin can clear up. The one that I like that I'm currently using right now, and I always switch out my cleansers, but the one that I'm using right now is the Aveeno Active Naturals Positively Radiant Brightening Cleanser. It gets my skin very, very clean, but it doesn't strip my skin of all of its moisture. The next thing I recommend for oily skin is a toner. A toner is not something that I've always used, and it's definitely not something that I've always believed in, but I've noticed that when I use a toner, it helps balance my skin a little bit more. I have two here, and I have two options for you guys. The first one is gonna be the one that I talked about in my favorites video. This is the Pixi Glow Tonic Exfoliating Toner, but it does a wonderful, wonderful job. If you're somebody who suffers from hyperpigmentation, you definitely want to include something in your skincare routine with glycolic acid. I don't really use the second one anymore, but I wanted to show you guys in case you guys wanted something that was a little bit more less expensive and that wasn't as much as that one. I would probably recommend for you guys to use Witch Hazel. I use Witch Hazel for a really, really long time. I love this stuff. It does a great job at toning the skin. It does not have any alcohol in it. It does a great job of just balancing your skin out. I really like this toner. It's awesome, and I highly recommend for you guys, if you just want to try out toning your skin for a little while and you're not sure if you want to go and buy an expensive toner, I would highly recommend Witch Hazel, and it comes in lots of different brands and they run like $4 or $5 for a big bottle like this. Okay, next we're gonna move on to something that has been the topic of a little bit of discussion here on my channel. Every time I do my foundation reviews and I use this product, a lot of people in the comments telling me, oh, you shouldn't be using that, you have oily skin, oh, it's making your foundation oily. And that's gonna be the Tarte Maracuja oil. Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys are thinking, you have oily skin, why are you putting more oil in your skin? It was an experiment that I did and it worked amazing for me, and I recommend for you guys with oily skin to try it. It works for some people, it doesn't work for others. I would say that if you're somebody who suffers from a lot of acne, I will maybe not try this, because sometimes oils can be a little bit heavy, which can in turn irritate acne or cause acne. So the Tarte Maracuja oil I've been using for a few months now. I want to say since the end of last year, beginning of this year, and it does an amazing job for my skin. It keeps my skin from overproducing oil throughout the day, and I noticed I have to blot less. And like I said before, a lot of people are telling me not to use it because that's what's making my foundations oilier when I do my foundation reviews. It absolutely does not make my foundation oily. Like, it does not change anything. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I tried it both ways. Whenever I try a new foundation and bring you guys a review, I try it with the Maracuja oil, and I try it with just a regular oil-free moisturizer. And I gotta tell you guys, the Maracuja oil wins every single time. I feel like it just puts oil on my skin, which kind of tricks my skin into thinking I already produce oil, and it doesn't produce any more oil. I don't know what it is about this particular oil. Now granted, I haven't tried any other oil. I've only just used the Maracuja oil, so I don't know how it would be if you slapped on coconut oil on your face, because I know y'all always trying to get coconut oil to do everything for you, okay? But I do know that with Maracuja oil, it works really, really well for me. Okay, next things I want to talk to you guys about are going to be primers. Primers are going to be super, super important. So I would say that if you're somebody with oily skin and you're debating between getting either a primer, a mattifying primer, primer or a mattifying setting spray, I will highly recommend that you go with a mattifying primer. I do have two options for you guys. I have a drugstore option and a high-end option. My favorite, which is the high-end option, because I just believe that there are no really drugstore primers that do exactly or that do as much as a high-end primer. This is the Makeup Forever Step 1 Equalizing Skin Equalizer, and this is the mattifying primer. This does an amazing job of keeping my skin matte, making my makeup last all day long, and it's just a beautiful primer. Now, I used to use the Becca Ever Matte primer, and I do like that one. The only thing I don't like about the Becca primer is how uncomfortable it makes my skin feel. It just feels like a thick clay texture, and I don't really like the texture of it. I much more rather the Makeup Forever primer. Pretty much works just as well as the Becca Ever Matte primer. It's just a better feel on the skin. The one from the drugstore I'm going to talk about is, like I said, it's not going to be as good as the high-end one, but it's going to semi get the job done. It's the best that I've been able to find at the drugstore, which is the number 7 Beautifully Matte Makeup Base. I use this primer if I know I'm not gonna have my makeup on for a long time, or if I know I'm just running out and I just want my skin to not be oily, and I don't want to go to my $36 primer. If you're looking for a cheaper alternative to a mattifying primer that you can maybe wear on occasion, this would be the one that I would recommend. Alright, so the next things I want to talk about is obviously foundation, because when you have oily skin, choosing the right foundation is very critical. I have a few here that I want to share with you guys. I know it's kind of a lot, but I wanted to give you guys a couple of drugstore options and a couple of high-end options. So the first one I'm going to do is the MAC Pro Longwear Nourishing Waterproof Foundation. Now, this is kind of a debate on YouTube as to if this works for oily skin or if this doesn't. As far as I'm concerned, it works amazing for my oily skin. I think because the fact that it's nourishing, so my skin feels like it's hydrated, so it doesn't produce any more oil, and the fact that it's waterproof, which makes it long lasting, I think the two just balance each other really well, which works amazingly great for my skin. The next high-end one is going to be a holy grail. This is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation. This stuff is really amazing. I've been using this for years. I want to say like 3 years now I've been using this. It's never let me down. Anytime that I'm going to a special event or somewhere where I know I want my face to be beat, but there might be a chance that I might be outside or I might be somewhere where I might get really oily, this is the foundation I always reach for. This is the foundation I wore on my wedding day, and I got married in Houston in like 95-degree weather, and we took our pictures outside. This foundation, I did not, like, my face was just done. Like, you couldn't even tell that I had been standing outside for how many hours while we took the pictures. This always has my back. It's gonna be the L'Oreal Paris Infallible Pro Matte Foundation, and this is what it looks like. It is a beautiful foundation. When I wore this in the summertime, it was amazing. It lasted forever on me. It didn't budge, it didn't smudge. It held up really well against my oils. The last things I want to talk to you guys about are just some face powders, and again, I have two options for you guys. The first one is going to be my favorite, which this is the MAC, what is this called? The Studio Fix powder. This powder is absolutely amazing. This is pretty much the only powder that I use. This goes over my makeup almost every day. I just like the way it works with all foundations. You put this powder on top, it's gonna help control your shine, and it just looks really beautiful on the skin. This is always my number one. This is probably my 8th time you're purchasing this powder. This is the one that I go to. This is like my holy grail powder. The next option I want to give you guys is something that I also recently discovered, and I've been kind of going back and forth since I got this between these two. I definitely like the color of this one more. I think that's why I've been gravitating more towards this one, but it also does a really amazing job of keeping my face matte. Not as well as my MAC one, but it does a really good job. This is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte 16-hour powder. And it is just a really beautiful powder. It's a gorgeous color. It's not too yellow, it's not too red. It fits really well. It works really well with my oily skin. Alright, you guys, that's all I wanted to talk to you guys about. If you have oily skin and you have a product that works really well for you, please share it with the rest of us. Leave it in the comment down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my videos. Make sure to thumbs up this video if it was helpful to you in any way. Also share on your social media, and I will see you guys in my next one.